So look, in this video, I'm gonna teach you why all of these real estate agents are struggling in Dubai's real estate market, how to solve this, what used to work, and why it doesn't work anymore. So first, I'm Nasser Samman. I'm the co-founder of Kratos. I've been in the industry for almost 3 years. I've tested every single strategy that you may think about. So if you are looking for a funny content or a way to look funny and be famous out of these stupid things, then definitely I'm not your guy. But if you are looking to make money, I'm the guy who can help you do this. So I've helped over 100 real estate agencies and developers. I've generated over $1 billion worth of sales combined. So whatever the thing that you may think about, we have already tested it. So look, at the beginning, you need to consider that any lead that you are trying to attract is already seeing over 2,300 ads. I've took this screenshot probably a week ago, and you can see that there are over 2,300 active ads. And this is only on Meta. So you can imagine also on Google, Snapchat, LinkedIn, etc., and all of these platforms. So here are the list of things that you should not do. So at the beginning, you should not run lead generation campaigns anymore. So this used to work in 2019, 2020, up until max 2023. So this used to work because, in fact, the market was not having that huge competition similar to now. Now you have over 30,000 agents registered in the market and probably the same number under the table who are not registered. So doing the typical things doesn't work anymore. So that's why you will see that if you do this, like people will ignore your ads, ignore your calls, and most of them are not ready to buy. The second thing, people assume that if we switch the platform, things will change. Oh, maybe I should go to Google Ads, maybe I should go to Snapchat, LinkedIn, etc. Changing the platform doesn't change the outcome. In fact, what you need to change is the strategy. Yes, some platforms have an extra or an added advantage compared to the other platforms, but they don't do miracles. 3, you should stop posting vague content, like talking about random stuff or, I don't know, getting the materials of the developers and putting them, this doesn't work anymore. Also, like, you do not need content or ads without choosing a niche first. So if you look at those successful agents at the moment in the market, you will see them that they are specialized in a specific niche. So that niche can be an area. So for example, I know people specialized in Dubai Islands, some people specialized in Hudayriyat Island, some of them specialized in Arabian ranches, some are specialized in branded residences. So the niche can be an area, a ticket size, a property type, sometimes a developer. So these are the things that you need to consider first. Even if you have an agency of 10, 20 people, 30 people, 200 people, so you need your agents to group them or categorize them into niches and do content based on these niches. So the next thing is that you should not post content that looks nice. Okay, and just think about it. In his book, David Ogilvy, Ogilvy in Advertising, who is considered, by the way, like the godfather of advertising, he himself said that majority of those who won the famous Clio Award for creativity either lost their business or lost their clients. So focusing on shiny things don't make money. So, because at the end of the day, even if this generated for you views and engagement, views and sales are totally opposite. And the next thing is that you should not use generic materials like those that every broker uses them. So the things that you have to do is that, one, you need to create value-based content first, then retarget the people who already saw your videos with lead generation campaigns. So this makes the leads warmer and more responsive because they already know you, already familiar with you, and so on. So this improve the strategy overall instead of changing the platform, because the lead quality improve when the trust is built. So at the moment, you don't have a lead generation problem in the market, you have a lead temperature problem. Because when you are generating these leads, the leads are either like telling you that call me after 6 months, etc. And at the end of the day, they are buying, by the way, but from other brokers. So you need to create 3 types of content under a strategy we call the WHW. So W for why to buy, how to buy, and what to buy. So why to buy, you talk about regulations, RTA updates, and stuff like this. How to buy, you talk about tips, mistakes to avoid, and so on. And what to buy, you talk about specific projects or communities, about their pros and cons from a pure objective way. The next thing is to choose the niche, and then you show real analysis like numbers, data, and so on. And then you create your own original content, because copied content are already there, everyone is doing them. So I'm not saying that copying is wrong, as long as you add your touch, it's okay. So to execute this, you have two ways. You either do the typical content creation that's going to give you views, but isn't going to give you sales fast, because the typical cycle for content creation to get leads organically, it's going to take something around 6 months. Yes, it sometimes happens in 3 months, but it sometimes also happens in 12 months. So you need to take an average of 6 months. The next thing is that people watch but do not contact you, especially at the beginning, because there will be like cycles. So people will ignore you, then they will criticize you, then will make fun of you, and then they will listen to you, and then they will trust you. So you have to pass through these phases. Even if you are an introvert person, whatever, the market has no mercy on these people, and social media has no mercy on these people. So you need to pass through these cycles. And then it is hard to post all time. That's the main challenge with the typical content creation, because you reach something called content fatigue, where you don't have ideas anymore. So the next thing is that it takes time to give low return. So what I mean here is that, so at the beginning, you're gonna post the videos and you're gonna get some views, 100 views, 200, 1000 views, etc. And then you're gonna continue posting. So you're gonna see that it's growing, but slowly, but over the time. So that's why it's gonna give you return, but it's gonna take time to do this. And the next thing is that you do not own the audience with the typical content creation. Why? Because these people, if they followed you, okay, cool, you are able to retarget them and so on. But if you do it purely organic, you can't retarget, let's say, post another video and aim to target the same people who watched the previous videos. And the results here are hard to measure, because awareness, let's say, or views, etc., does not translate directly into money. Now, the next way to do this is the typical lead generation, where you start receiving leads from day one. The problem here is that it's gonna have like high cost per lead, and you're gonna face like the fake leads or the low quality leads, or the leads are not going to answer the calls, not ready to buy extra, and so on. And the main challenge is that you're gonna face a wasted ad spend. So on average, you need to spend 0.83% of your sales target on advertising in order to achieve the sales target. So it's expensive, and you're gonna have a weak pipeline and low closing rate and long sales cycle. So to solve this, you need to do a combination of both. So you focus on a niche, and then you create content based on it, like stories, reels, carousels, and you post across all social media platforms. And then you do paid ads to push the views of these videos, and then you retarget the people who already saw the videos with the lead generation campaign. And then you do OTP to make sure that these leads are actually genuine. And if you have lookalike data, perfect. If you don't have, for example, in our case, we have lookalike data worth over 5 million dirhams. So you use your lookalike data to simply target these people to watch the videos and so on. So to simplify, what does lookalike means? You simply, let's say, have 1000 leads that you already generated. Out of these 1000, there are 100 that are really qualified. You can get these 100, you give them to Meta or whatever the platform, and you tell them, I need people similar to them. Now, the cleaner this data and bigger, the better. So for example, if you give it 100 buyers instead of 100 qualified leads, it's better. If you give it 1000 buyers, it's even better. And also the content topics should be like based on actual questions people are asking. And also they should be like serious data and serious topics. So it's not Amar versus the Mac and so on. So these videos, like someone jumping in a pool or saying Amar versus the Mac and doing this kind of comparisons. So these videos can generate views and engagement for you, but it doesn't generate leads for you. So this is something that you need to consider. So when you do this, what you get in return is that people understand who you are and what you sell. The content is useful, it's not random, and you are seen everywhere by the right people, and you get faster reach and visibility, and people see you many times, because that's the thing. Even from a psychological POV, people need to see you at least 7 to 10 times in order to trust you. And the leads here are real and answer the calls, and you become the king or the queen of your specialty or of your niche. So here people will ask for advice, not just for a project link. So this is how it looks like. So in fact, you create the 3 pillars, and then you schedule this content across all the social media platforms. You can see Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube Shorts, TikTok. And then since you do the paid ads on Meta, why? Because if you compare Meta to all the other social media platforms, then Meta is the best. So the only actual comparison that makes sense is Meta versus Google. And in fact, Google is a bit risky because one, you need at least 50,000 dirhams ready in order to go with Google. That's one. And the reason behind this are in fact 3 things. One, Google is a bidding war. So if you are willing to pay, let's say 200 dirhams per lead, and another one is willing to pay 220 dirhams per lead, and then you are willing to pay 240 and so on. So it's a war of who can pay more. So that's one. Two, the fake leads or the attacks, let's say. So this can happen by other agencies who hire people to simply click on your ads and simply waste your budget, or by like bots, whether from agencies or whatever, that clicks on your ads and also waste your budget. So that's why you need capital, because if you have small capital and you try to invest it, you will lose all of it. And the third thing is that it's not scalable. So just to give you a quick example, when the buzz started about Maritime City, so I had some clients where they told me let's launch a campaign for Maritime City, but people don't know at that time what does Maritime City means. So since Google is based on the searches people are making, so you are limited by the number of searches that people are making, and you are competing on these searches with other people. So if you are in a niche area that people are not actually searching for it, you are gonna lose your money. So you do the paid ads, you use your lookalike, you let people see the views, and then for those who already watched at least 25% of your videos, you do a retargeting campaign with the OTP verification. That's how you get better leads. And the omnipresent campaign is something super important because it pushes people to see you at least twice a day. So by doing this system for you and implementing this system, you solve all of your lead generation problems. And why it's super important to have the lookalike data? Because it is based on real buyers, not people who are interested in real estate. Because, for example, I'm interested in real estate because it's my job. You are interested in real estate as a real estate agent, but it's your job. So that's why it doesn't make sense to target people based on interest. So myself, I have different lookalike data based on different targeting and different niches. So this is super important to do, because by doing this, you don't test anymore. Definitely, there will be always room for improvement and so on, but you solve 50 to 70% of all the tests that you have to do based on the targeting and so on. So this helps you reach buyers faster, reduce wasted ad spend, and get leads who are ready to talk and take advice. And the steps for this is super easy. So one, in our case, we do the onboarding and paperwork. So we finalize the niche and so on based on this also. We recommend the niches. You agree on what niche makes sense for you, and we focus only on this niche. And if you are an agency who have, I don't know, 20 agents plus or 10 agents plus, you can choose multiple niches. And then we do the market research for that specific niche. So we study it, we deep study it and understand the needs of these specific people and the common questions that they have. And then we create the content based on the three pillars that I have said. And then we do either outdoor shooting or indoor shooting. So in fact, I've tested this. Outdoor shooting is better for secondary market. Indoor shooting in a setup like podcast is better for the off plan. And for example, here for the outdoor, if we are focusing, let's say, on La Mer, we shoot like inside the listing, in La Mer overall, and in the office. And then the next step is the video editing. So we handle all the editing related to this, and we have a team dedicated for video editing. We have a big team actually for video editing who handle all of this to finalize this process. So instead of you relying, I don't know, on, let's say, editors who gonna, I don't know, finish max 2 videos, 3 videos a day, we have a big team who can finalize the final batch of the 30 videos within a couple of days, like 2 or 3 days. And then we schedule the content across all social media platforms. And then we launch the awareness campaign so people see you, understand how you think, and so on, and to reach those right audience. And then we launch the lead generation campaign retargeting these people after approximately 1 week or 5 days. So this is how the process actually works. Once this system is deployed, everything is gonna change. So actually, we have done this for plenty of people. We can see here plenty of case studies, over 100 case studies, where we have done this, even some video testimonials. So if this is something that you are interested in, I'd be more than happy to help you with this. You can simply contact me or go to our website and book a consultation, or WhatsApp me at 052 653 0257.